Y'all, I'm Rachel. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel again today. I'm really looking forward to us talking together about how and when to get your bees secured for 2024 because the time, it's right now. It doesn't seem like it. It's December, it's cold, it's the end of the year. Everybody's thinking about Christmas and all hyped up about that. But I promise you, come spring, you're gonna start seeing those bees go to the blossoms flying around, and you're gonna go, oh, I've been meaning to get honeybees all this year, or my hive swarmed away. Let me go ahead and get some more. And it's not gonna happen. There is a very small chance that in spring, by the time when people are actually getting their bees, that you'll be able to get on the list too. So I would recommend going ahead and ordering right now. You'll see advertisements left and right. If you go into Google and type your zip code or your county and try to see what's available, you may actually already see some that are sold out. So I'd highly recommend to do that now. And let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. No, if you don't get bees on the first go around, everybody's season will be different. You know, for us, it's really early March when bees start getting, sold to customers. But you're not going to get a lesser quality of bees. That's not going to happen. So I don't want to scare you into thinking that. However, that bee season, that nectar flow, it's going to trim down shorter and shorter. So if you have from March to July or August in some cases, depending on what crop you're going after, if you're getting your bees, the end of April, you've just trimmed that down by almost 2 months. And it's really important for the progress of your bees, especially if you're going to be starting from a nuke, which if I haven't already said, get a nuke. Don't go any other way. Nukes are by far the best way to go. If you're going to start off with honeybees, you'll be able to see their progress from, 4, 5, 6 frames, all the way up to their 10 frames. And then whenever you add a super on, that's the way to go. So back to it. If you go ahead and get your bees early on, it gives you the longest possible time to be able to see their progress and for them to collect nectar. And it's a better chance for you to be able to collect honey or have your bees going into winter with their supers on, if that's what you choose to do. Again, regionally, that's different on best practices. We don't overwinter our hives with supers on. To each their own kind of on that one. You have to judge it sometimes on a hive by hive basis. But again, go ahead, get those bees secured right now. I'm going to go ahead and show you the items that you need to have going into your 2024 bee season, and this will have you set up for several months. Now, bees get going really, really fast when you first get them, especially from a nuke if you're feeding them before the nectar flow really starts. And that is the most exciting time because you'll see them building comb, you'll see all the baby bees and the capped brood and the larvae and the eggs, and you'll start to learn how to read a frame really well. That's the time to do it because there's so much activity going on. The weather will usually be really beautiful. There's a lot that they're bringing in, whether it be pollen or nectar. And again, even if you're feeding them, you can see how they're storing that in the hive. So you really need to be prepared day one going into it as well. And it's not as scary as you may think. What I would recommend, well, let me show you what I'd recommend. All right, so y'all have seen the videos of me in my bee suit, so you know how dirty it is. There's no disguising that. It has holes and it's ratty-tatty. Gonna get a new one, but that's what I'd recommend as far as, the protection that you're gonna have and actually working in a hive is getting a full suit. It's gonna give you the most protection and it'll make you more comfortable going in, especially if you're new to beekeeping, feeling more protected versus just a veil. I know that we all like the style and look of going in with just a veil or nothing, and it's really aesthetic, but when you're first getting into it, use the most protection because it's already nerve-wracking of figuring out what you're doing. You're gonna make mistakes. You may drop things or be a little clumsy. Full suit. I use deerskin gloves. I just get these from Tractor Supply. Love that place. Love these gloves. And a J-hook hive tool. We exclusively use these. They're just really handy. It does everything you need it to do. You can scrape and clean your hives, move them around the frames, and this will be able to help you lift up. That it's just really the complete set of what you'll need as far as equipment, protective equipment, and well, I mean, a hive tool it kind of does it all. Now, here is the magic that if you purchase, you will not regret. This is Swarm Commander, and you'll be able to catch your very own bee swarm with this. You can purchase this on Amazon. It's great stuff. And this is kind of an extra, but if you buy sorry about the wind, y'all. I hope you can't hear that too much. But if you buy a marking pen, these are non-toxic, you're going to be able to very easily identify your queen. And just a little something. This is, I think I actually have a video, but you essentially like push down on the frame and then you mark her with the marker. This one isn't open because this is next year's color. Next year, 2024, is green. So, speaking of Swarm Commander and marking queens, this is actually a nuke that we set out with Swarm Commander on the little front porch, and we collected a swarm of bees this way. It's right beside our other hive, so it very well could have been our bees. We try to prevent that, but here's where things are really important. When you're ordering bees, I suggest getting one nuke, 2 hive bodies, and 4 supers. If you start off with 2 nukes, then I suggest getting 4 hive bodies and 16 supers. But for simplicity's sake, and I think I did that math right, I hope I did. If not, I'm just gonna cut that part out. But if you get a nuke, picture this. You're gonna have 5 frames in here. And then you're gonna put them after, same day or the next day, you're gonna put them into their own hive. And you're gonna see them go from those 5 frames to 6 to 7, 8, 9. You're gonna add your honey super at that point. You need to add your honey super before they swarm. And then they're gonna go up in their honey super and they're gonna start building out that comb and making it all nice and pretty. And then at a certain point, when that's going really fast and great, again, because spring bees just go wild, you're gonna wanna add on your second super. And so that occupies those 2. Alternatively, you could take this colony, turn it into another single, watch it grow up, and when it hits that 8, 9, 10 frame mark, you're gonna split that and put half of the colony back into that nuke box, and then you're gonna watch that one grow up from 3 frames to 4 frames to 5 frames, and you're gonna put it in a hive body. So that's why I'm saying if you have more equipment in the springtime when things are moving fast, the better it's gonna go. Now, here's a third option. If you get that nuke and then you put it in your hive, you take that box right there, add Swarm Commander to it, and now you have 2 colonies. Once you have that second colony that started as a swarm, you can put that up in a little tree or something. It's small enough that you're able to work with it. Then you put it in the second hive body, and then you have multiple colonies running. You're seeing what they're doing, their progress. Having a nuke box and frames that are inside of a nuke already versus a package, and that's again a whole different conversation. But sticking with just nukes, if you have those frames to work with, getting another box to put them in is so crucial, because springtime is so fast paced, and that's when people talk about a lot of the problems that they have. I know you're going to want to think about, what do I do about treating them? I want to do it naturally. I don't want to use chemicals. How do I feed them? What's the best way to move a hive? There are lots of really very important questions to address, but the equipment aspect of having that on hand before you need it is so important, because when we get going, your supply stores, they're going to run out of materials. Lead times go from a couple days to a couple weeks. So that's such a long way, but it's really important that I drill it in. It's important to get your bees now. Order 1 nuke now. Get it on order. make sure that you have it, put your deposit down, pay for it in whole, whatever you got to do. Get your bees now. And then if you get 2 hives and 4 supers in addition to that, with all their frames, you're going to be set to go. You're going to be absolutely set to go for your bees. Once you get that in order, get your suit, your gloves, and your hive tool. And magnifique, you're gonna love it.
Talked about what you'd need, but to actually tell you how to go ahead and look for your bees, of course you can always do that by word of mouth. If you know somebody who has bees, who has sold them to you before, that's always a great route to go. But otherwise, just do as I did right there. Type in your county and nukes for sale and scroll through the results. You're going to be able to find people who will sell to your area or people who are there local. And here's a little self plug. This is our page, and this is my puppy dog. Isn't absolutely cute? But you can go on these sites, and if you type in beekeeping in whatever your state is or county, if you join the group, then you'll be able to go on there and actually search. Nukes 2024 is the example that I used here, and it populates anything with that text inside of the post, as well as just nukes. Some of these are actually from 2023, but you can scroll through them, and that way you can engage with the people online on these sites, see who they are, know what they're about, and have an opportunity to put a face with the name, and also see what other commenters are saying about those bees or the businesses that they're working with.
If you're able to get all this done, spring is going to be smooth sailing. There will be bumps in the road, and I think anybody who starts off anything new knows that. But being prepared with the things that you're not going to have to think about when your bees are getting so just slam packed in your hive, you're not going to have to worry about them swarming because you have extra supplies. Don't let yourself fall behind. This time of year, there's a lot going on, but if you really want to have bees this upcoming year, now's the time. Now is the time to order them. Now is the time to be thinking about what equipment you'll need. And you're going to thank yourself in spring. It's going to set you up for a really nice, smooth, and I don't want to say easy because beekeeping can be difficult. It certainly can, but much easier time. And you're going to be able to enjoy it more knowing that you have everything on hand. Bees, they do require work. They are not something that, like a garden, you wouldn't just plant something and walk away and expect to have a bountiful harvest. You have to put some time into it. But like a garden, you're not having to go out every single day and do something super extra and super specific. You just have to do a monitoring progress. And it will be slow but so fast at the same time. So having these materials on hand will set you up for a really wonderful spring, summer, and then hopefully a beautiful harvest in the fall. Thank y'all so much again for joining me today on my channel. I'd appreciate it if you liked, commented, subscribed if you got any value from this content. I really love and appreciate all the love that I've gotten on my last video. It is so crazy. I have like more than just my family watching my videos, which is super cool. So thank y'all for that. I'd love to see this channel grow. And with that, in a world where you can be anything, y'all be kind. Wow, the wind is wild. Okay.